start working on it, okay? Just relax.
A teenage girl waiting for her boyfriend to wake up, but Chemo Lawler never opened his eyes. Now his girlfriend is paying the price for what she did.
She was wrong. If she never pulled out that knife, my son would be here and we wouldn't be sitting facing each other today, Your Honor.
I'm Anjanette Levy, and this is Crime Fix. Yakeem Lawler was a beloved son and brother. His parents called him Chemo. Chemo played football at Northwestern Senior High School in Miami, Florida. Chemo had a bright future ahead of him, but his life ended suddenly and unexpectedly on December 20th, 2024, at the hands of his girlfriend, Jahara Malik. And now Jahara has pleaded guilty to a...
Y'all say this shit? Girlfriend killing boyfriend. That's how this shit really started for real. Like, I ain't gonna sound like the niggas don't be doing that almost type of, you feel me? But, hey, fool. You feel me? Come on, bro.
A manslaughter charge, and she's learned her punishment for the crime. Surveillance cameras recorded many of the moments leading up to the end of Chemo's life that night in December of 2024. At 10:34 p.m.
That ain't even her real hair, for real. I can tell, bro. Bro, this your real hair right here. This part right here. That's your real hair right here. I can tell. Cause like, this right here, from right here to here, it's looking a little different from this side. And that's not your real hair. It's your bun neither. You feel me? I'm on your toes too. You think I forgot that? You feel me? Damn. That nigga probably thought he had a good one.
Yeah. Jahara can be seen at a door of an apartment complex with a friend. They're laughing and having fun. The friend is carrying some bags. It's just a couple of teenagers hanging out, doing what teenage girls do. 7 minutes later, at 10:41 p.m., another camera records Jahara and Chemo, and they can be seen walking into a stairwell. Chemo is wearing a hoodie. Jahara seems playful, and they both walk up the stairs. Then 16 minutes later, at 10:57, Chemo comes into frame, and Jahara runs toward him. Her purse drops to the ground, and she runs towards Chemo. About 2 minutes pass, and Jahara comes back into frame, her cell phone in her hands.
Was she recording something? Like vlogging?
Dials 911, and police arrive on scene about 6 or 7 minutes later. A detective...
Bro, this shit don't sound like no foreplay. This shit don't look like no foreplay. You feel me? Like, shit. What the fuck? The video just looked crazy.
Testified about the videos.
So who's the person in the hoodie?
That was Vicky.
And who's the person in the tank top?
That was him.
All right. So, at any point as you watched this particular footage, was there anything about this footage that led you to believe that the defendant was at any point afraid of the victim?
No, ma'am.
Did she appear to be in any type of distress?
No, ma'am.
And in fact, she at some point is like smiling and joking with him.
Yes, ma'am.
A surveillance camera recorded part of what happened between Jahara and Chemo right before he was stabbed. Take a listen.
Was there anything that struck you about this particular video? Can you hear anything?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was it that you could hear?
You could hear the victim saying at some point, Jahara don't.
Jahara don't.
More than 20 minutes after Jahara stabbed Chemo, Miami police officers spoke to her in that parking garage about what she said happened.
Did she stab me in the heart, fool? Like, and you talking about he was a goddamn football player, gang. You feel me? How little ass, you feel me? Hey, I know we playing and all and shit like that, but know your limits and shit. Nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? But where the fuck where the knife came from? Shit just throwing me off.
happened.
That's why he didn't wake up so he could tell y'all.
Yeah,
Because
well,
he didn't.
She got the blood on her
Like,
hand.
we both have a knife. Like, when he comes to my house, we just do that every time. We get argued.
So what? So y'all okay?
So you guys getting arguments in the club?
You on? I'm on. I'm on. I mean, I already talked to him. Sorry.
Yeah, I had the knife, but I was.
Were you guys arguing before that?
No, we was just over here fighting, and then
So fighting you
So
are?
you guys are arguing?
yes, and then well, we wasn't arguing. We was just like play fighting and stuff. And that's when he was making me mad, and that's when I had the knife right here, and then he ended up running to it. But I'm not thinking because he already knew I had it. He was trying to get it from me, but he ended up running to it.
Okay. Do you have an idea?
No, I don't have no
anything?
idea.
That don't even sound right. Alright, fool, see. See. You going to jail. You going to jail. You going to prison. We was playing at first. And then I had the knife at first. Why did you have the knife? We started arguing. What? Yeah.
Do you know your social? Listen,
My
listen.
last
Do
four.
you know your last four? Okay. What? I'm not saying. I'm trying to figure out what's going on.
No, like what's gonna happen? I just need him to wake up.
I don't know. When they're working on it. Okay. Just relax. Don't worry.
Okay, if he alive, then what?
Huh?
Where we go from there?
You gotta take him to the hospital.
Okay, and then what?
And then we just go from there. When he wakes up, we talk to him and everything.
He's like,
We gotta wait. You're
That
17
nigga
also?
passed out.
Yeah, what did you do to me?
I go like, I didn't even tell my mom. My mom don't even know nothing.
At Jahara's sentencing, the prosecutor seemed to question that story based on questions she posed to the lead detective.
Did you have an opportunity to review the medical examiner's report?
I did.
What did you learn in particular about the wound?
The medical examiner described the wound to be 12 to 6, which means that's the angle that they use to describe the positioning. The 12 o'clock was the blunt part of it, meaning that the part that is not sharp. The 6 o'clock was a sharp one, so it was straight in the chest, a little bit to the left, and it was 10.1 centimeters in depth, which translates to 3.976 of the whole blade.
Do you know how long the blade of itself was?
4 inches.
4 inches. Okay. So so the wound was essentially 4 inches almost in depth.
Objection. Let the witness testify.
Can you describe everything that the knife went through and how deep it went into the victim's chest?
Yes, ma'am. As you can see in the video before, the victim had a hoodie, and obviously it went through the hoodie, the shirt, and according to the medical examiners, the soft tissue, and it went into the third rib on the left side, approximately 1 inch in depth, and hit the heart.
I fucking told you, man. That shit. Yeah, you made it. No, you wanna make sure that nigga. Like you talking about some. Okay, what we going after this? Like, what do you mean, bro? I mean, if he's living, then what? Am I cool now, bro? This wasn't no main joint for. This a bird bitch right here. I ain't gonna lie, bro. She a bird.
So
Just a little hit.
when we're talking about the way that the
2
knife
cups
was
of
talked
Henny.
about 12 and 6.
2 cups of Henny.
Just so the court can kind of have a visual. The knife is
She
essentially
not even.
right side.
Nah, fool. Watch out, fool. She not even one of them. Like, you don't even put the Netflix on for this type of bitch. You feel me? Like, put the Tubi on. Yeah, put the Tubi on. Yeah, we can watch Tubi. Yeah, we can watch something on Tubi. Shit, fuck it, you know? Shit. You're not gonna get on my fucking Netflix and fuck up my goddamn. You feel me? we ain't doing like that. Like, she not no man joint, bro.
Right? Like the manner in which you would use a knife. Did she tell you why she brought a knife that day with her?
Yes, she said that she was going to be riding in Ubers and she couldn't find her pepper spray, and that's why she grabbed the knife.
Okay. So it was essentially for protection?
Yes,
And did she tell you that it was needed for protection?
yes.
And so Does she tell you then where the knife was when she first arrived to the apartment complex?
On her purse.
In her purse. Does she tell you why she pulls out the knife?
Separate from the statement that she gave in the camera, to what she said that she was gonna call her friend Tate, and the phone was inside the purse together with the knife, and she grabbed both at the same time.
So did she demonstrate for you how she said she was holding the knife?
She did.
And how was she? Can you show for the court?
Basically, she ended up with the knife like this.
Okay, so that's what she tells you. She ends up. And does she tell you how high she ended up holding up the knife?
Just like this.
Like this. Okay, so I'm gonna ask if you could just do me a favor. Could you please stand up? It's okay with the judge. So she demonstrated for you how she was holding the knife. How high up was she holding it?
She just like this.
Right here. Okay. I'm gonna take this from you and ask that you stay there because we're gonna reenact it a bit. Where exactly is the stab wound of the victim? Excuse me. It's up higher in his chest. Okay. So the victim is how tall? Do you recall?
5'10".
5'10". Okay. And the defendant was how tall?
5'6", 5'7".
Okay. So they're about 3 inches apart. How tall are you?
6'2".
Okay, I'm 5'6". I'm probably wearing 2 inches of heels. So that makes us maybe proportionate to that. So she says she's, correct me if I'm doing this right, she's holding it just like this. And does she tell you she's doing this? Or does she tell you she has it here? Okay, and then what does she tell you happens to the victim while she's holding the knife?
There was something with the door. The victim opened the door. She bumped into it.
And he bumps into her. Okay, so presuming that that's the case, does she say that the knife is here? And he bumps into her right here? Okay, is that consistent with the fact that the stab wound is actually up here? Okay, so it would have had to have been up here, upright.
As I mentioned earlier, Jahara Malik was charged with manslaughter in Chemo's death. She pleaded guilty, and those close to her, both Jahara's family and her friends and her attorney, begged the judge for leniency.
She has taken responsibility by pleading guilty, and she will carry that weight of this for the rest of her life. I've known Jahara for her entire life. She is not a violent or careless person. She comes from a family that values faith, discipline, respect for others. She has always been someone who shows love to those around her, someone who supports her family, someone until this moment lived a life that reflected compassion and care. This situation does not define the entirety of who she is. It reflects a moment, a tragic mistake, not a pattern of behavior. Since this incident, I've seen the impact it has had on her. She is remorseful.
This was always described as horseplaying that went too far. Now, how do I know? I'm not going by what my client said. I'm going back. All you have to do is listen to that 911 call before the call, before anything happens. The conduct by the two individuals show that they were horseplaying. That video does not show about anyone going there with ill intent to do what actually happened. Because they're playing, they're running. I didn't make that up. The video, notwithstanding what you want anybody want to believe, that video is the best evidence of that.
You need to chill right now, guy. You acting like one of these little pastors out here, man. You go to church too much. I'm not saying this too much, what I'm saying, but like, you trying to mix your career with this stuff, with what you do at the church and stuff like that. How you talk and stuff, man. Like, you funny, gang. You funny. I ain't hating.
Chemo's mother, Natalie Jean, spoke about her grief, the son that she lost, and the pain she feels to this day.
You will meet my son one day, and you'll remember him for the rest of your life. She took that away. The night of, it was a regular day in our house. We was putting up the Christmas tree, me and Treasure, my youngest. He came in the living room. The first thing he said, because he's always a jokester, "Pink tree, huh, Mom? Pink tree." I say, "Boy, you better ask your sister," which is my oldest, Tamia. She waited the last minute to get that Christmas tree, so we got to get what we get. and we all was in there doing the tree. And for some reason, it just like it wasn't coexistent or whatever. It was just a beautiful day. Tamia was she was coming in the door, and he was coming out of his room, and we was playing music. And we was just like, it was just our song, and we was dancing. We was listening to Mariah Carey, We Belong Together. And then he just coming out the room, and he's just singing. He's like, when you left, I lost a part of me. And he just singing his heart out. We his little cheerleader, like, we belong together. And we just singing. And then it was just, that's our normal routine. You know what I'm saying? It was just a beautiful day. Never would we imagine that we ate. He went in his room. I said, oh, hey, Jig, the trash. He told me, all right, Mom. I said, no, your room. He was like, oh, okay. I said, I'm off tonight, so I'm going to be here. He said, Mom, I promise I'm going to do everything in the morning. That was the last thing my son told me when I went in my room. Mom, I promise I'm going to do everything in the morning. Then I got that phone call. Not from police officers or nothing. One of his classmates called me and said, Mom, something happened to Chemo. You need to go to the hospital. Then somebody texted me, Jahara stabbed Chemo. But her lawyer wanted to say she reached out to me. When she wanted to talk to me about other stuff and communicate, she know my number. But she didn't know it that night. Well, her mind was a fog that night. But when we talk on a regular, she knows my number. And then an officer, as I'm on the scene, tells me, Miss Jean, yes. Is Jakeem Lawler your son? Yes. I'm sorry to tell you, he didn't make it. Why? I'm just getting on the phone with my dad to explain to him what's going on, but I don't know what's going on. I turned into a little girl that night. Could you imagine calling out for your dad? I'm like, Daddy! Daddy! Yo, tiens, petit moi, oui. That's what I'm saying. I said, my child is dead. They told me they killed my child.
Chemo's father also spoke about his loss.
Nothing makes sense right now at this point. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about Chemo a little bit because he was the most humblest guy. Well respectable. Chemo was so humble. Chemo, I went to pick him up from Charles R. Drew Elementary one day, and his teacher say, hey, in PE, the PE teacher like, hey, the kid's super fast, he jumps super far, and he's super high, and he's just this super athlete. I'm like, Chemo ain't tell you? At this point, Chemo had won 3 Super Bowl MVP. Chemo go to school and nobody knows nothing. He was 10 years old at that point. All right. Chemo do not brag on himself. He bragged on his daddy. All right. His daddy the best barber. All right. He wouldn't let nobody else cut his hair. All right. Nobody can beat his daddy in basketball if you listen to him. All right. And nobody's better with the bookie if you listen to Chemo. Chemo praises his dad. His dad was his hero. You know, I defend Chemo. I rescue him. I save him.
And then Jahara Malik addressed the court.
Your Honor, I've been thinking about what to say for a long time. And the truth is, there are no perfect words for something like this. When everyone read a speech before they get sentenced, they ask for mercy. But I'm here to accept my consequences for what I have done. Then
when them braids took a while, I'm like, no, that shit hurt, don't it? I know that shit hurt. Shit.
Night that everything happened, not one thought in my mind was to leave or run. I didn't want this to happen. I was thinking about saving someone else's life instead of myself. That's why it was a quick reaction for me to wrap his shirt around my hand, apply pressure to his wound, and stop the bleeding while communicating with 911 to assist me. I wanted him to live.
You ain't got no stab wounds. Like, Shorty ain't even got no stab wounds. You feel me? Like, an argument started. and then you just stab the nigga. Like, bro, yeah, you're going to prison, bro. Like, come on, bro.
I understand that trying to help does not undo the harm. I stayed because at the end of the day, I was at fault. I would rather live knowing I tried to help than live knowing I left him there when I could have possibly saved his life. I was reckless. That knife should have never been out, and because of that, a life was lost. I was wrong for what I did, and every day, I sit and think about the damage I caused. The family wants me in prison, but I'm in my own prison for the rest of my life.
She probably got that job.
I understand that I have to be very mindful when it comes down to this, to making decisions and being more. I can't see. Being more aware on choices that have consequences behind them. This situation forced me to sit with myself in a way I never had to before. I had to grow up fast. I had to reflect. I had to reflect on who I am and who I want to be. I know I can't change the past, but I can change how I am moving forward and become a better person than I was before. To his family, I know an apology cannot do anything for you all, but after that night, I tried numerous times to reach out. I wanted to call Miss Nat and his dad so bad just to tell y'all how sorry I am and beg for your forgiveness, but I couldn't legally. I love y'all son so much, and I never wanted this to happen to him. This was my best friend, my love, and someone I could vent to about any and everything. He was a good person and definitely should have been here.
Now, during this hearing, it came out that Jahara had given inconsistent accounts of what happened that night, and detectives said they had learned that she had also shown aggression toward Chemo in the past.
We would have been getting ready for prom and graduation right now. This is a sad situation. I miss him every day. I know there are memories, birthdays, holidays, things that will never feel the same without him. I wish I could go back and change what happened, but I can't, and that's the worst part. Y'all didn't deserve this pain, and I wish I hadn't been the one to give it to y'all. I pray one day the family could forgive me, and I want to say I'm sorry to his friends and his family. I know that I hurt y'all in a way that y'all can never forgive me, and I hope one day y'all can. When my mom that night after the detectives, I talked to them and they told me he was in surgery, and I knew something was wrong. I went to the room and my mom and my dad was there, and my mom was crying. And I'm like, why y'all crying? He's good, he's in surgery. My mom said the boy died and my life stopped after that. My heart was broken. All I could think about is him being gone. I just pray that we all heal from this, and I pray for closure, and it's just a sad situation from both ends. My family hurting too. We know y'all hurting. We hurting with y'all, and we not against y'all. We all in this together. Like we fighting for me, but we're on y'all side. We're not against y'all.
Shorty, you got a body now. Shorty got the body. You got a little body right there. Shit. Some little fine shit. Y'all gotta you feel me? What they finna sentence her? That's what I want to know.
Yes, thank you.
Then it came time for Judge Hernandez to sentence Jahara Malik.
I want to say, first and foremost, that this decision has weighted heavily on myself. I think the past couple of hours have shown this courtroom and whoever is watching that what occurred here was a tragedy, should not have happened, and no matter what this court does, it's not going to restore the loss that your family has gone through and what your family will continue to go through. And I want to recognize that loss. His life was taken way too soon, and the court recognizes the profound impact that loss has had. And I want to make sure I emphasize that. The court also recognizes that Ms. Malik, you are young. You are a young woman, but youth does not excuse what occurred that day. The law takes it into account and recognizes that it is your youth that affects your decision making and it affected your judgment. But your youth does not excuse the foreseeable consequences of the choices that you made. The defense has moved for a downward departure based on the offense was committed in an unsophisticated manner and was an isolated incident for which the defendant has shown remorse. The court will find that the defense has failed to prove by competent substantial evidence and by preponderance of the evidence that has been met. Although I do believe that you are remorseful, I do not believe that this was an isolated incident of aggression towards the victim based on the evidence that was presented here in court. And I also do not believe that this was done in an unsophisticated manner. And the reasons why the court finds that is the most dispositive evidence of what occurred that day was the medical examiner's report. And reading that medical examiner's report and understanding that that was a 4-inch blade that was lunged into the chest near the heart, and it pierced a hoodie, it pierced a t-shirt, it pierced skin, it pierced tissue, it pierced muscle, it fractured a rib, and it ultimately pierced the heart. The amount of force
well, what,
that
that
was
nigga
required.
fuck on you or something like that? That nigga probably cheated on you way too many times or something like that. Next time I see that nigga, bitch. Cause they say you texted motherfucker. Hey, for the last time, I'm gonna stab him next time. Put his hands on me. Shorty OC. Feel me? You gonna stab the nigga in the heart. Like, you talking about something, I hope he lived. What? You would've shot him in, like, in the arm. Fucking, you know what I'm saying? Cause right here. Shit. And like, that's still bad though. Anything around here, that's still bad. Like, shoot him stab him in the legs. I don't know what the fuck you tweaking, shorty.
To inflict that wound was not accidental.
The judge could have sentenced Jahara Malik as a youthful offender. The state wanted her sentenced to 20 years in prison and 10 years probation. Her lawyer argued for a lesser sentence. The judge had a tough decision to make.
Ms. Malik, the court will sentence you to 17 years in Florida State Prison, followed by 5 years of reporting probation. Special condition of that probation, you will have to go a mental health evaluation and abide by the treatment if necessary. You will have to write a letter December 20th of every year that you are on probation, acknowledging what had occurred and how it has affected your life. And I do not take this sentence lightly. Ms. Malik, this is not something that this court wanted to do, but I have to impose a sentence that I believe holds you accountable, recognizes the severity of the offense, and is something that's appropriate in light of everything that I've heard.
After sentencing, Jahara Malik was transferred to the Miami-Dade County Jail. She will later be...
Damn, she look even worse with the motherfucking braids. Nah.